this is Petra, and this is how to crochet a single crochet. Just a heads up, if you don't know any lingo I'm talking about, I'm going to do my best to describe it, but if you do need help with any stitch or any kind of thing I do, make sure to check out all my other videos, because I have even more beginners than the single crochet. It starts with a foundation chain and a lot more other things. So first we're going to do the slip stitch, and this is to help get our foundation chain going. Now I'm using just a regular old type of ball of yarn, size 4. I think this is probably Red Heart, and then a size 6 hook for this, because I thought that would be the best size to show you how to do the single crochet. So what we're going to do is do 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And once you have 10 on your hook, you want to add one more chain. And this extra chain is so that your work will build up. It is called your turning chain. Every time you turn, you will add an extra chain, one onto each single crochet. Different stitches require a different amount of chains, so make sure you look for that. But single crochet requires one, and if you don't, your work will start to decrease, is what they call it, and you will end up with a triangle eventually once you skip one on each side so many times. So to do the single crochet, make sure you're chaining an extra one. And to learn this stitch, we're going to always skip the first one, because that first one is going to be your wall, your border, if you will. So we're going to skip the first one and go into the very next one. We're going to put it, here is it looks like a braid. I'll call it a braid. You're going to go into the very top of this braid. When you do that, you have 2 on your hook. We're going to yarn the yarn on our ball over, and we just want to get it out of that braid. Once you get it out of that braid, you will have 2 on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull these 2, and you should hold it just like this if you're a beginner. Don't feel like you need to hold your hook any certain fun way. You want to pull it over the hook. And I'm just going to keep doing that, and I'm going to do it pretty loose, because in this video I thought it would be nice to show you what your work is probably going to look like if you're a beginner. Your work is usually a lot looser than the people's in the video who have been crocheting, and I think it's important to show you what yours will look like compared to mine if we are doing it about the same way as beginners. So then you're going to make sure you look very closely to your work. This is probably what you've got so far. You're going to go into the very next one chain that doesn't have anything in it. This one already does, so we're going to go into the very next one. You're going to put that, and we want to get this off of our hook is the next thing we're going to do. So to do that, we're going to yarn over and pull the 1 out of there. So then once you comfortably have your 2 on your hook, you're going to yarn over and pull these 2 through what you have. And there you go. And it should start to kind of look like this. And if your work is too loose, you think, you can always pull this and make it tighter. That is the yarn that's attached to your ball of yarn, or you can try to loosen your hands a little whenever you do it. Don't pull so tight, because when you pull so tight you can't see your work sometimes, and you won't be able to get it through the hole. So just know, if you can't get it through the hole, or if you can't yarn over and pull them off your hook, you probably need to loosen up. Comes with lots of practice, especially this stitch is even though it seems like it's the simplest stitch besides chain, it can be very hard to learn how to get your hands right, but we're learning. So we're going to go into the next chain that doesn't have anything in it. See, this one has one, this one has one, this one is empty. I'm going to go into it. Once you go into it, you want to yarn over and get it off the foundation chain first. So then you should have 2 on your hook. we're going to yarn over and pull both of those out. So now it should look like this. And I'm gonna go across and stop talking for a minute because maybe some people are more visual and don't want to listen to me, or maybe I'm talking too much. So I'm just going to do the next ones, and I may say yarn over just so you have some direction on how to do that and when. Yarn over. I did mess up on that one. Hold on, do not do that. Alright, what you should look pretty similar to this, give or take. Lots of pieces might look a lot looser like this, and just know that that is just fine. And once you master this stitch, it should be a lot tighter than this, and it'll look beautiful. I mean, I think this looks nice. Some people do their work looser on purpose. I find it hard to do that actually now. Mine used to be really loose when I first started, and then now that I do them, I crochet really fast, and it's actually hard now to keep it loose, but it gives you like a nice stretch in your hat or blanket that you have that you wouldn't get if you did it super tight. So yeah, I'm going to do these next few ones with commentary. That way, if it helps some people to hear it, they can hear it, and if you need to see it again, you can see it again. You're first going to go into the next chain with nothing in it. You should have 2 on your hook at this point. You're going to yarn over the string that's on your ball of yarn and pull. We want to get this foundation chain off your hook for a second, so we have the 2. When you have 2 left, we're going to yarn over again and pull through these 2. And then you're going to go into the next one. You should have 2 on your hook. You're going to yarn over, and just so you know, sometimes if you go straight into your work, sometimes don't be confused about this extra yarn that's already yarned over. Sometimes it does it for you, so don't get confused and start going from behind. Or some people in classes that I've had have doubled it, and then some people do this hilarious thing where this happens and they don't know what's going on, and it is really a big problem. So that's the only reason I'm adding that in. So yeah, sometimes whenever you push it through, it's already over, so just let that happen. And so once this is on your foundation chain, we want to get this one off. And once you get it off, you should have 2 on your hook, and we want to yarn over the string that's coming from your ball of yarn and pull through 2. And then this very last one you're also going to do, you're going to go straight into it, yarn over if it isn't already, get your foundation chain off your hook. You should have 2 left, yarn over and pull through those 2, or grab them and pull them over yourself. And it should look give or take like this. Yours might look nicer. It may look crazy at this point, and you have maybe had to stop, rewind. But I hope you eventually have made it to this point, and because that would just make me really happy. And if you have, we are going to turn again, which is really tough for beginners. but we're gonna do it, and if you have to rewind and play the video, that is great. As long as you get to this point and you're comfortable, we're gonna chain 1, just like we did at the other end. We're gonna chain 1 and turn your work over. So once we've turned your work over, I like to get a look at what I've done, and I could see where I tried to loosen it up for you guys and where it's kind of tight, but it should look pretty consistent, and if it's all over the place, just try your best to find each braid. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is oh sorry, there's a 10. This one sometimes can look on the side like this, but do not worry, that is just fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this was our turning chain. And now we're going to do the same thing we were doing before, except for now I'm going to go through 2 of these. I'm going to go directly into the whole chain, stitch, or braid. I'm going to go right into it. And my yarn has naturally fell on top of it. We want to get that out of there. And we have 2 on our hook, yarn over, pull through. We're going to go directly into our next braid, go under both of those. And then we want to get that braid off of our hook, so we're going to yarn over and pull through. 2 on the hook, yarn over, grab these and pull them over. Then we are going to flip it over again and look at our braid, go under the braid. We're going to get the braid off of this, just like we did our foundation. So there's 2. Once there's 2, we're going to yarn over, and you're probably going to pull through something similar to this. And you see this, we're going to go straight into the braid again. The next one, nothing on it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and all the way to the end. I think either you got it, you don't, or you're having to rewind. I'm going to finish it off normal, and then maybe maybe I'll chain 1 and do another row after this for you, just so we can do it together, and hopefully you've got it. And this is the rhythm that I normally do. I'm just doing it a lot slower for you. So if you're confused by this part, just know I'm not doing anything different. This is just how I would do it, just slower. And I just added my extra chain. And I'm going to go under, grab it, and I do it now to where I don't have to yarn over. I just have control over where my hook is going. So again, if you don't understand what I'm doing here, just know that it is the same thing. I just don't have to yarn over or grab the yarn much with my fingers to pull it over anymore. And I'm going to do 2 more for you, and then I will leave you to stop, rewind, probably, because that's what I did for so many years when I was learning. Or at least the first year is the hardest. If you can make it through even 3 months of crocheting, you're going to be amazing if you can make it through that, because if you can do the first 3 months of confusion, you are going to have it. So we're going to go under the braid beside the one we've just done, yarn over, pull that out, and there's 2 more on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull those two out. And go into the last one, go over, and we want that braid off the hook. We're going to yarn over, and we want these two off the hook as well. And then you always chain 1 to turn. And this is what mine looks like at the end. And hopefully yours looks similar. And this is called a tail. Lots of people like to knot it and then just weave it in and out through any space. There's no certain space, but just to where you think that it looks nice and it hides. If you have the same color, there's never really an issue. Or you can, a lot of people get needles also. Just make sure you never cut too far on the bottom or it will start pulling out and your beautiful work you worked so hard for will be gone. Because yes, if you were to take your yarn, this is an example, out and just pull on it, your work will just come out. And I've done this to even blankets that were halfway done, so just know that nothing lasts forever and nothing's too precious. And happy crocheting! I hope this helped.